This video was found by you. That's not a little thing. It could be the most important thing after all. A very small number of people ever find this kind of message. The fact that you are reading these words is not by chance. It's a sign of deep understanding. Things in the universe have a beautiful way of coming your way at just the right time for your soul to hear them. And the fact that you are ready now has just opened up a part of your journey that had been waiting for you. It's been like a whisper has been following you your whole life, right? A certain emotion or frequency that shows up at times that make you think and wonder. You've seen it in the coincidences and synchronicities that happen at too good of a time to be random. You've felt it when time seems to be moving more slowly, or when reality seems so thin that you could almost see through it. You have been linked to something that most people don't know about. This is not a coincidence. This is a call. But what is this calling really? It is your own consciousness seeing a reflection of itself in the ocean of possibilities that never ends. Each time you've had that chill down your spine, that feeling that this is important. Every time you stopped in the middle of a busy day because a number, a song, or a symbol seemed to have a deep meaning for you. It was a confirmation every time you saw the everyday world suddenly peel back for a second to reveal its magical side. People told you that the station you were listening to wasn't playing the consensus reality. What wavelength are you on? It didn't appear out of nowhere. With every challenge you've ever faced, it has gotten stronger, clearer, and better. Your ability to sense things that can't be seen has been growing every time you overcame a deep doubt or chose to believe what your heart told you instead of what your senses told you. You are now on the verge of a big jump, where growth will happen faster than ever. There are truths that come to you and truths that pass you by because your consciousness has become a strong magnet for certain types of energy and information. This isn't just random information. It's not meant to be fun or distracting. This is a code for activation. They make your frequency better. They are loving reminders of the wonderful person you are, underneath all the conditioning that taught you to be small, to doubt your own thoughts, and to write off magic as nothing more than a fantasy. You've been living in two worlds at the same time, and you might not even be aware of it. The first truth is the one that everyone agrees on. People live in a world where there are limits, lacks, and struggles. Things change slowly, and miracles are seen as once-in-a-lifetime events. The other reality, which you have been getting beautiful glimpses of, is different. In this reality, your intention directly shapes your experience. Your consciousness shapes matter, and the things you expect with all your heart become real. This is the reality most people are born into. They think the second reality is just a story. But you've been going back and forth between these two worlds. There have been times when you did it on purpose, and times when you didn't even know it. There have been times when the impossible happened right in front of your eyes, and it was so clear and real that you couldn't deny it. After those moments, there were days or weeks when you wondered if everything was all in your head. This doesn't mean that things are unstable. This is the balancing. You are learning how to move between different levels of awareness in a graceful and aware way. It's likely been getting stronger lately. There's a pressure inside you that something is getting too big for your old life. True transformation always feels uncomfortable, so that's why it is. There is a new you coming into the world as your old identity fades away. It can feel like chaos to be in the space between who you used to be and who you are becoming. That chaos, however, is actually a higher form of order, a beautiful coherence that is reorganizing your life at a much higher level. That's the secret that no one ever tells you. Think about what happens when you bring water to a boil. It changes from being a liquid to something that isn't quite steam as it heats up. It's in a strong, changing state that's hard to describe. You're right there where you belong. Your old mental and emotional operating system is being upgraded so that it can run amazing new programs that weren't possible in your old setup. You are in the quantum transition zone. This change is not happening by chance. Your higher self, the eternal part of you that lives outside of linear time and can see the whole beautiful map of your soul's journey, has lovingly planned it. That higher self has been bringing into your life the best challenges, the best opportunities, and the most important wake-up calls. It's been getting you ready for this very moment, when your whole life goes into high gear. There is no pressure on you to change into someone you are not because of the pressure you are feeling. Because you feel like you need to stop acting like the small, limited person you never really were. It's the real, beautiful you that wants to be seen, heard, and fully experienced without any apologies or concessions. It will keep getting worse until you stop fighting it and start going with the flow. In the history of the world, every religion and spiritual path has tried to explain this process. Everyone talks about the same amazing event, but they do so in different ways and with different words. It's the moment when a human consciousness finally realizes that it is actually divine consciousness having a temporary human experience. Your whole world will change when this awakening goes from being a cool thought in your head to a deep knowing in your body. It's not that the universe starts to treat you differently all of a sudden. It's that you start to interact with it as the powerful, creative being you have always been. You are getting loving course corrections from the universe when you thought they were painful setbacks. What seemed like heartbreaking missed chances were actually ways that life was keeping you from settling for less than what your soul really wants. According to a divine timeline that you couldn't see from your point of view, everything you thought was going wrong was actually going exactly as planned. The wait times were not a punishment. They were a get ready. Waiting was never a waste of time. Now it was time to integrate. But let's go even further into this process of getting ready, because it's so much more loving and complicated than most people think. Every event in your life, even the ones you wish you could forget, has made you stronger in your ability to hold higher and higher frequencies of consciousness. You learned to keep your heart open even when it hurt because of the breakup. Failures teach you that your worth is not based on what other people think of you. The betrayals taught you to put your trust in yourself above all else. Each challenge was like a key that opened up hidden superpowers in your consciousness that you couldn't get to any other way too. When you come out of a tough situation, you are always bigger, stronger, and more capable than when you went in. Mind growth isn't the only thing at stake here. This is how your consciousness changes over time. Step by step, you've been making it easier for yourself to hold more light, love, power, and truth. Everything in the universe is used up all the time. Each time you felt lost and confused, it made you stronger in your ability to deal with the unknown. Every time you felt alone, it was teaching you the beautiful art of being with yourself. Every time you had to dig deep and find a strength you didn't know you had, you were finding the endless resources inside you that go beyond your personality, your story, and anything you were taught about what people can and can't do. Suddenly, you find yourself at the entrance to a very different reality. And in order to walk through it, it needs one thing from you. It's not hope. This isn't just wishful thinking. This faith isn't passive. In other words, it wants embodied certainty. You know something in your cells when you have embodied certainty. It changes the way you breathe, walk, and talk to yourself when no one else is around. This deep, unwavering certainty is already there. You don't have to make it up or try to think it. That is something you need to remember. That feeling of sureness you had as a child when you played make-believe, and the world you made up seemed really, really real. Back when you didn't know how to tell the difference between real and not real, you lived in a magical world where anything could happen, and often did. Not childish is that state of consciousness. It's a quantum state. Kids naturally know how to act based on the idea that consciousness comes first, and the physical world is just a reflection of it. They are not yet taught to think that what they see with their eyes is more real than what they can feel with their strong imaginations. They haven't learned to question their intuition or the truth of what they know in their hearts. Getting back this quantum consciousness doesn't mean you have to think like a kid again. It means moving up to a higher level of thinking that includes logic and reason but goes beyond them. It means remembering that you are not separate from the cosmic intelligence that makes worlds, moves planets in their orbits, and arranges every synchronicity in your life to occur at the exact right moment. The person who is already living a life of joy, abundance, and unwavering inner peace is not waiting for you somewhere down the road. There's no need for you to figure it all out. They're already here. There they are in the quantum field of all possibilities right now, and they are sending you their frequency all the time. It's not your job to try hard to be like them. You need to learn how to match their vibration and tune into their signal. Then you need to start living as if the gap between the you are now and the you dream of has already closed. This is not just daydreaming about the spiritual world. This is how quantum mechanics can be used to explain your own consciousness. In quantum physics, scientists have found that particles are in a state of infinite possibility, which means they can be in more than one state at the same time until they are observed. All of those possibilities collapse into a single, palpable reality through the very act of observation. This observer is your consciousness. Your concentrated attention is the strong force that causes the infinite field of potential to collapse into a particular physical manifestation. The world around you is forced to change in order to reflect that observation back to you when you consistently observe yourself as the strong, happy, and abundant being you truly are. It gets even more exciting now. You're not just getting a signal from your future self. It is their job to help you get from where you are now to where they want to be. You're getting a piece of the map from your future self every time you have a sudden, brilliant idea that seems to come from nowhere. When you suddenly have a strong desire to do something, that's your future self lending you their energy. When you think thoughts that are bigger and more expansive than what you are going through right now, that is your future self affecting your awareness of the present moment. This isn't made-up science fiction. When consciousness is freed from the false idea of linear time, this is how it works. Your future self can see things from a higher point of view. They can see how to get there better than you can right now. They know which options will make your trip go faster and which ones will cause you to take longer routes. They understand which people you need to meet and which chances will really make a difference. You are always getting messages from them, but you need to be on the right frequency to understand what they are saying. You can have the life you want, even though time, distance, or your current situation stands in the way. There is only frequency between it and you. You can change your frequency right now without having to change anything else in your world. Realizing one simple but profound truth is the first step. What you want wants you too. The picture-perfect life you've been picturing has also been picturing you. You've been calling success into your life, and it has been calling you forward to meet it. This idea works because consciousness is not limited to your mind or body. There is an infinite field of consciousness that covers everything, and your awareness is like a radio that can pick up any station on that field. When you want something, you are actually connecting with a frequency in the universe where that thing already exists. Because you want something, that's proof that you can tune your receiver to that frequency. It would be impossible for you to even think about it as a possibility if you didn't. Most people, though, treat their wants like they're trying to pull something very far away toward them. They think that in order to get what they want, they have to work hard enough, wait long enough, or prove that they deserve it. Even though this approach is meant to help, it actually leads to resistance because it is based on the false idea of separation. It thinks that you and your desire are not in the same place, and that you have to work hard to connect them. The quantum understanding is very different and gives you a lot more power. There is already a field of consciousness that includes you and everything else you could ever want. You're not trying to bring it to you. You're just getting in line with it. Not because you want it to happen. It's going to happen because you let it. The difference between these two approaches is small in words, but huge in practice. Attraction means work, struggle, and space. Alignment means understanding, resonating, and going with the flow. When you align with the frequency of what you want, it comes to you naturally. You find that you were already linked to it. You understand that the feeling of being alone was only an illusion caused by focusing on the wrong frequency. To find your favorite song on the radio for hours, only to find out it was playing on a different station the whole time, is like this. It was easy, just turn the dial. Here is the secret to why manifestation can happen so quickly, almost right away. It's not because the universe had to work quickly to make what you wanted. It's because all of a sudden you were in sync with what was already made and open to you in the quantum field of possibilities. As you align yourself faster, your manifestation will happen faster as well. And if you know what you're doing, alignment can happen in the blink of an eye. But this is where a lot of people get stuck. They think they need to work hard to get their dreams. They think they need to show that they are good enough, wait for the right time, or get enough experience. If they want something badly, they treat it like an application for a job they probably won't get. What if I told you that the very fact that you can see, feel, and imagine it so clearly means that it is already yours? What if the universe is giving you a sneak peek at something that is already part of your quantum inheritance just by letting you think about it? It's very important to understand this idea of a quantum inheritance. That you can think of these specific, lovely possibilities wasn't something that happened by chance. Your imagination is more than just a place to make up stories. It is an extremely strong sense organ that can see past the limits of this physical world. It's not just your imagination when you picture something very clearly and deeply emotionally. A reality that already exists in its potential form is being tuned into by your consciousness. You should think about how your mind really works. Where do you get your best thoughts? From where do those vivid daydreams and visions really come? They don't come from a single place in your mind or a memory. They appear to come from somewhere outside of your mind, as if you are receiving information instead of making it up. That's because you are. The way that information from higher dimensions gets into thoughts and images that your current level of consciousness can understand and process is through your imagination. Great inventions, scientific discoveries, and ideas that change the world all started out as impossible dreams in someone's mind. But what's really interesting is that many people, who have nothing to do with each other, often have the same crazy ideas at the same time. There's no chance in this. This is the evolution of consciousness itself, a new possibility being sent to many people at the same time. Your dreams and visions are not just something you think up. You are getting downloads that tell you what is possible for you and what has already been set up in the quantum field. Your mind is giving you sneak peeks of things that are about to happen, of realities that are still in a state of potential and are just waiting for you to connect with them fully enough to collapse them into your actual, observable reality. It's not true that you have to work hard to achieve your dreams. That feeling of not being good enough comes from a consciousness paradigm that was based on scarcity, competition, and needing approval from outside sources. In the new quantum world, you don't get worthy over time. You are that thing. Your very existence is the only proof you will ever need that you deserve to exist, and, by extension, to experience any expansion of that existence you can think of. When you imagine a life full of plenty, you're not asking for too much. No, you're not crazy to think that miracles will happen to you all the time. If you are sure that everything is always going to work out for the best, you are not fooling yourself. You are just connecting with the frequency of truth, which your conditioned mind has been taught to doubt, but which your quantum consciousness knows right away is home. These days you've been walking through fire, right? The heavy stress, the deep doubt, and the long nights when you questioned everything you thought you knew about your life and yourself. People might have ignored you, thought the wrong thing about you, or made you feel like you were trying too hard or being too much. But the whole time you were struggling, something strong and unbreakable was being built inside you. A kind of spiritual muscle that you didn't even know you would need has been building up in the cosmic gym. But let's talk about what was really going on during those tough times. It was never just random pain. It was a planned and loving process of getting ready. Each challenge you've faced has been perfectly timed to awaken different parts of your consciousness that you will need to get around in the new world you are entering. The struggles were never a punishment. They were a way to get to know each other. Think about how amazing it is that a butterfly can change so quickly inside a chrysalis. From the outside, it looks like a process of destroying everything. The caterpillar looks like it is ending up in nothing. However, what is really going on inside is a complete reorganization of matter and consciousness into a new form that can do completely new and different things. The crawling consciousness of the caterpillar is miraculously changing into the flying consciousness of the butterfly. It's not just evolution. Metamorphosis is happening here. That's exactly what has been happening to you during the tough times in your life. Your old consciousness that crawled has been breaking down so that your new consciousness that flies can finally come out. All the parts of your identity that were formed around limitations, struggles, and the idea that you need to work hard for every little reward have been carefully taken apart so that a whole new, more powerful operating system can start up inside you. This is why your old solutions stopped working all of a sudden. What this means is that the things that used to make you feel successful now feel empty and draining. This is why relationships that were once easy and comfortable began to feel tight and limited. Things were going well for you in life. You were getting too old for the life you had been living. Your consciousness was growing beyond the limits of what your old reality could hold. The loneliness that a lot of people feel during their awakening is not a sign of being turned down by other people. This is a sign of frequency differentiation. When your consciousness starts to work at higher and higher frequencies, you start to naturally connect with different people, opportunities, and ways of being in the world. You didn't lose old connections because you were bad. They fall apart because your vibration is no longer compatible with them. At first, this can feel very lonely until you realize in a deep way that you are not being separated from connection itself. You are getting ready for a connection that is much deeper and more real. When you are living from your true, authentic frequency, the relationships that come into your life will be based on resonance, not need. They won't depend on each other, but on growing together. They will be based on a common goal, not a common sense of what they can't do. You are now different. It's in your bones. Things that used to set you off and make you spiral almost never even cross your mind these days. People's opinions used to get in the way, but now they seem far away and unimportant. The amazing power to change reality just by changing how you look at it is something that quantum physicists call the observer effect. Your attention is now like a laser beam making things happen. Your hope has turned into a strong magnetic field. But this isn't just about getting stronger or more emotionally stable. You are becoming superhuman in ways that most people don't even think are possible. You are learning to see hidden patterns that other people don't see, to feel energy in a room that other people can't feel, to know things without being told, and to change things by the way you are present instead of the way you act. I want to know what old story or limitation you are now ready to let go of. Tell us about it in the comments below. Letting go gives other people the strength to let go of things that don't serve them anymore. So please don't wait for someone else to say, "This is true," before you start living like it is. So please don't wait for someone else to say this is true before you start living like it is. Don't wait for other people to see what you see before you use your newfound strength. What you want doesn't make the universe do what you want. It tells what kind of person you are. And the story you keep telling yourself about what is possible for you right now shapes who you are. You're no longer going to play small. Playing small was a way for you to stay alive in a past life that you no longer live in. You are no longer small enough to fit into places that were never meant to hold the beautiful, grown-up version of you. The people you're meant to be with, the conversations you're meant to have, and the impact you're meant to make all need you to be yourself, no matter what. You have a part of you that knows exactly what you can do. There are no doubts in this part of you. It doesn't ask anything. It doesn't need proof from outside sources, permission from other people, or perfect conditions to act. When this part of you moves, you feel a deep quantum certainty because it doesn't exist in linear time. It can see where it's going all the way from the start. It knows that everything that happens between now and then is just the grand unveiling of what was true ever since the beginning. This part of you is not your personality, ego, or mind that thinks. You are your essential consciousness. It is the pure awareness that you had before you made an identity, and it will stay with you long after your current identity fades away. This consciousness isn't limited by your past, your mistakes, or the things that are happening to you right now. It is in direct, unbroken contact with the infinite intelligence that keeps the natural world in perfect, breathtaking harmony and plans the movements of whole galaxies. You stop trying to figure everything out with your logical mind and start knowing things through a direct, intuitive sense when you learn how to often connect with this part of yourself. You no longer need approval from other people because you have an inner voice that tells you things that are more accurate than any advice or opinion from a professional. You don't have to worry about where your life is going because you know whether a choice is right or wrong before you make it. This isn't a magical dream. When you are not conditioned to doubt your perceptions, second-guess your instincts, and look outside of yourself for answers that can only be found within, your consciousness works the way it was meant to. Native American traditions, old spiritual paths, and modern quantum physicists are all pointing to the same basic truth. Everything in the universe is made of consciousness, and your awareness can connect to the infinite intelligence that makes everything possible. Your rational mind is great and necessary for organizing and analyzing data, but it wasn't made to be the main person in charge of your life. You can't get to the multidimensional intelligence that can see the intricate web of connections between all the possible outcomes and lead you to the ones that will help your highest evolution. This deeper intelligence works through your intuition, through sudden knowings, and through the body-based sense of rightness that you feel when you are on your true path. When you choose to listen to your deepest knowing, rather than the voice in your head that says, "But what if?" you collapse 1,000 less than ideal options into the one that is most beneficial to you. Every time you decide to act from this place of certainty instead of fear, you send a strong signal into the quantum field that changes everything around you. This is more than just a philosophical idea. You can directly apply quantum mechanics to your consciousness in this way. You're not able to reason or analyze with the voice of your quantum certainty. It talks in terms of energy, feelings, and a sudden clarity that comes all at once and skips over all thought. It's the voice that says yes loud and clear before your mind can think of all the reasons why something might not work. That voice tells you to act now, even if things don't look good on the outside. That voice that tells you to go this way, even when you can't see where it will lead you. Growth can look like a huge explosion, an instant, shocking, and unmistakable change that makes your whole life different. Most of the time, though, real growth looks like a quiet becoming. It changes how you act in the world, how you make decisions, and how you handle whatever life throws at you little by little but forever. You are becoming someone who doesn't need things to change around them in order to feel worthy of what they want. As you grow, you become someone who creates their own approval, safety, and strong sense of what is right. To move forward, you don't need to know everything. It's all about moving forward, right? You have to trust yourself enough to take the next step, even if the rest of the stairs aren't visible. Thinking about something else won't help you get clear. If you want to be clear, you have to do something that feels most alive, most aligned, and most like the truth that you know deep down, but haven't been brave enough to say yet. You're not crazy to think that your life could be bigger and better. You're not crazy to think that miracles will become the new normal for you. When you picture a world that makes every cell in your body feel like it's home, you're not asking for too much. You are just tuning in to what is real and open to you in the quantum field of endless possibilities. It's just that you're picking which channel to show your life on. The global awakening that is happening all over the world, the big shift in consciousness that everyone is talking about. You are not just sitting there and watching it happen. You play an active and important role in it. A new frequency is being anchored on Earth, and you are an important part of the network of light that makes it happen. It's not just a personal journey for you to undergo transformation. It is a powerful addition to a rise in consciousness that has been happening all around us for decades. Let's take the time to really understand this shift in society, because it's more important than most people think. Right now, humanity as a whole is getting a new operating system for its consciousness. Not everyone is aware that they are part of this upgrade, but everyone is being changed by it. The old ideas of separation, lack, and control are falling apart right in front of our eyes, because they can't stand up to the higher frequencies that are now surrounding our planet. Things in the world don't work as well as they used to, which you may have noticed. Systems that at one time appeared to be unbreakable are starting to collapse. Lies that a lot of people used to believe are now coming to light. People who used to quietly accept what life could not give them are now speaking out and asking for more. It's not chaos. Reorganization is taking place here. The whole structure of civilization is being improved so that a higher dimensional consciousness can live in it. This is why you've been feeling so different lately. This is why it seems impossible to keep up your old habits and patterns. Because of this, you want deeper conversations, more real connections, and work that has real meaning and purpose. The world needs people like you who remember their true power, who won't settle for anything less than magic, and who live their lives as if the impossible is just going to happen. You don't need to go out and try to convince or save people who aren't ready to be saved as part of this huge general shift. Your only job is to fully and consistently embody the frequency of this new paradigm so that you become a living, breathing example of what is now possible for a person. You should make people feel more alive, hopeful, and connected to their own huge potential when they are with you. They are affected by your authentic frequency, not because you are trying to change them, but because their own authentic frequency is automatically raised. This is how consciousness really changes over time. No amount of teaching, preaching, or persuasion will do it. It is by way of resonance. A morphic field is an energy field that makes it easier for everyone to access the same frequency. It is made when enough people start to actively embody a higher frequency. You're not just making changes in your own life. Every person who comes after you will find transformation to be simpler because of you. The thoughts you're having right now are changing the way your brain's neural pathways work. Your body's electromagnetic field is changing because of how you feel. A lot of what you say to yourself shapes your subconscious mind. This is more than just growing as a person. That's what reality engineering is. You're not just making your life better. It's being planned from the quantum level up. Tell us in the comments, what is a recent coincidence or synchronicity that made you sure you're on the right track? Your story helps other people see the magic all around them. Now please leave a comment below with this strong statement. I'm ready to get everything that is already mine. Say it from the heart. When you say it, act like you're telling the center of the universe that the days of being modest are over for good. This isn't just about getting people to watch a video. This statement is full of energy. This shows you stopping the old program and starting the new one. What does this mean for how you live your life? It means you start to hope for different, better things to happen. It means you stop constantly protecting yourself from failure and start getting ready for success. It means you talk to yourself like you really care about, love, and trust yourself. It means you start making decisions based on where you want to be instead of where you are now. The universe is a huge, smart field of consciousness that responds to the signals you send out all the time. Every thought you have is a message. Every emotion you have is a certain frequency. Each thing you do is a vote for the reality you want to live in. Most people send out signals without thinking about it, which means they send out mixed messages that lead to mixed and confusing results. But you're learning how to be deliberate with how you send. Quantum physicists refer to this phenomenon as coherence when your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all in line with a single, distinct picture of what is possible. And the most powerful force for making things new in the whole universe is coherence. This is the idea behind why particles act differently when someone is looking at them. This is how the molecular structure of water has been shown to be changed by intention. This is how your focused attention can change the very fabric of your reality. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel if this message speaks to you. To learn these quantum consciousness rules at the exact time that more people need them helps a lot. The most important thing, though, is that you can't fake coherence. You can't just act like everything is fine. Your body always knows the difference between telling yourself the truth and lying to yourself. Your nervous system can tell right away the difference between deep, genuine certainty and wishful thinking. This is why positive affirmations and visualization can feel like you're just daydreaming at times. Making coherence is impossible if you don't believe in the vision with all of your heart. You are making problems within yourself. You shouldn't try to convince yourself that something is true when you still have doubts about it. To be coherent, you have to find things that are already true at such a deep level that you can't doubt them. The key is to find the frequency where who you are and what you want to happen are one and the same. To get to the part of your consciousness where your desires come from your soul's essence instead of a sense of lack, you need to dig deep. This is the reason why some people can easily bring about things that seem impossible to others, while others have to work hard for years to make even small changes. It is not about who is more spiritual or has the best skills. Who has reached a point of internal coherence around their vision is what it's all about. When the same truth resonates in every part of you, the outside world has no choice but to reflect that truth back to you. You've spent your whole life getting ready for this moment. Every challenge that you thought would break you opened you up to something bigger. Even the setbacks that seemed like they were the end of the world were actually just the beginning of a bigger comeback. There were times when you had to find a strength you didn't know you had. These times helped you build the strength to handle the huge blessings that are now upon you. Now is the end of the long wait. Not because everything outside of you has finally come together perfectly, but because you have finally come together internally. That's not because you're finally good enough, but because you remember that you always were. You don't deserve it because you worked for it. That wasn't the point. You belong here, in this higher frequency, in this field of endless possibilities, in this version of reality where who you are and what you want are one. But to belong here, you have to live here. You have to live your days like you know how valuable you are indefinitely. To do that, you have to talk like you want to be understood and respected. You have to make decisions like someone who really believes in their gut. That means you have to act like you have something really valuable to offer the world, not like you're always trying to prove how valuable you are. This powerful change in how you show up affects everything and everyone in your energy field. When you raise your frequency, it lets other people know they can do the same. Other people are inspired to take off their masks by your bravery, to live your true self. People can see what is possible for them when you are willing to expect more from life. You're not just changing your own real life. The transformation of our shared reality is being facilitated by you. That's the secret that not many people know. You are not being tested by the universe to see if you deserve your dreams. You are just seeing what you already think about yourself and your life in a mirror. It shows what's going on inside you on the outside. Through the things that happen to you, it shows you what frequency you are consistently sending out. That is to say, if you want to change what you see and feel, you have to first change what you are. That's why I want you to say it. What is the one emotion or state of being, like joyful, abundant, or peaceful, that you are going to live by from now on? Leave a comment below to help yourself and everyone else reading this feel this energy. As these words enter your consciousness, what are you being right now, in this moment? As these words enter your consciousness, what are you being right now, in this moment? What kind of energy do you have? Are you the type of person who always thinks the best will happen? Do you act like someone who believes that what they want is already on its way to them? Deep down, do you think that setbacks are just opportunities for better things to happen, and that all delays are just God's way of timing things to work out? Because this is how the real world reacts to you. Not because of what you say you want, but because of who you are all the time. You can choose what you are at any given time. You can decide if you want to be someone who waits for proof before believing, or someone who is so sure of what they believe that their belief itself becomes proof. You should expect miracles, but don't think of them as something rare and separate from you. You can expect them to show up naturally as a result of your alignment. Expect synchronicities to happen, but know that you are making the energy right for them to happen. You should expect breakthroughs, but know that they come from all the small, seemingly unimportant times when you chose faith over fear, trust over doubt, and growth over contraction. Real magic happens when you start to regularly expect good things to happen. Good things start expecting you. Opportunities will start to find you. At just the right time, the right people start to show up. It feels like miracles are happening, but the resources are just coming to you because your energy is clear, consistent, and coherent. It may have been hard for you to keep up this level of trust. Sometimes you might have felt like you were the only one with a big vision, while everyone else was living in smaller possibilities. But the fact that other people can't see what you see doesn't mean your vision isn't real. The fact that the results haven't fully shown up in your real life yet doesn't mean they aren't happening. It just takes a little longer for some big realities to solidify from the realm of pure possibility into the real world. Don't worry about being late. There is still time for you to make things right. You can live the life that calls you. You are not too old, too young, or anyone else. You are in the right place at the right time to receive what has been lovingly brought to you. Every moment of planning, every season of waiting, and every experience that didn't seem to have anything to do with your dreams has been a big plan to get you to this very moment, where everything you've ever wanted is possible. But action is the only way for possibility to become reality. To move like you know, not like you hope you might be right. They do this by talking like they want to be heard instead of just being thankful for the attention. By making choices like someone who goes with their gut instead of someone who needs permission from a group before they can act. Give up the timeline that your logical mind has made and trust the divine timeline that is taking place. Things in your life are not going badly. Things are beginning to fit together. The fact that you've been feeling uncomfortable doesn't mean that something is wrong. That's proof that everything is changing. You are letting go of old structures in your life that are no longer useful so that new ones can be built that will support the beautiful, bigger version of yourself that you are becoming. You weren't led to this message just to feel inspired for a short time and then go back to your old ways. This place was meant to help you remember something important that you had forgotten. You were led here to awaken a power inside you that has been dormant. You were led here to go through a doorway that has been waiting for you to realize it was open the whole time. You are the right time for you. Your answer is right here in front of you. You are the world and your life that you want to see better. But not the part of you that is still trying to figure things out. The part that already knows. Not the one that's still getting better, but the one that's already whole. Not the version that's still being made, but the version that is. Change how you move. Don't think that way. Change the way you talk. You are finally letting the wonderful person you have always been take the lead. Not because you are trying to change into someone else. The frequency is now different. The timeline has sped up. There are now more options available, and things will never be the same for you again.